people. Welcome to Pachabanto Podcast. Again,
Olá,
welcome to
pessoal. Meu nome é Laila. Estamos aqui de novo com o Pátio Aberto Podcast. Sem teste agora. Agora nós realmente estamos ao vivo conversando com vocês. E nós vamos falar em inglês e em português. Mas a gente vai falar mais em inglês para a gente testar, tentar aprimorar o nosso inglês. Só vai ter alguns errinhos, mas espero que vocês gostem. Hoje nós vamos falar about...
Can you see? Can you see?
Yes,
I already
I
share.
can see.
Humberto is
Yes.
coming. Humberto is coming. Now we are going to talk about this interesting documentary. I recommend you a lot, my people. This is interesting documentary about a very terrific story of a vanish who occurred like 4 years ago. If you are among these issues about mysterious issues, maybe you have already listened to this Hotel Cecil, and the vanish of Elisa Lam, and a lot of conspiracy around that. I think that this documentary goes beyond conspiracies because maybe I can tell that end. It's not a conspiracy, but it's interesting. It's a very interesting. I mean, how this documentary goes on. Well, while Umberto is coming, he's coming. He has already sent me his coming.
We are waiting for another friend.
Yes.
He has a problem, so we can wait. But we will start. We continue speaking about the Hotel Cecil in the Netflix. I think this documentary is very interesting because it's not talk about only the murder that happened in that hotel, but show us a different atmosphere about Los Angeles. You know?
Later, I have a problem. I have a problem.
What happened? What happened?
I am watching your wall, and I don't see the video.
Yes, this happened with me too. So you have to only listen me and share your
Hi guys, sorry for the
Hi.
We are
getting
live.
late.
Well, Umber,
Hi.
you're in your account of Laila.
Huh?
You're in your account because I can watch the video on your wall.
In the same time, yeah, I know.
Oh,
Let me see that we can do this. You can see this way.
Asking me that?
Or this way.
Umberto, go to YouTube. You can do it.
Yeah, but I can pass me the link.
I will send you the link. One moment.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can do it on YouTube. Don't forget the etiquettes, Humberto. Hotel Cecil, Netflix, Pachaberto Podcast, Laila. Fui de fora. We have to put a lot of names. Yes, because the other day we have a lot of viewers in YouTube because of the names, etiquettes, names. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so don't forget that.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can keep talking. The people who will watch this video after in your wall. Well, yeah, what is your impression? So you have
What's your impression?
similar as you? Yes, for me this documentary is not a conspiracy because finally it's not a conspiracy. You watch the 4 seasons, the 4 episodes.
Yes,
But
4.
It's not like that. It's more like it's a critics about how cities are built, how downtowns are built now.
Downtown in
Los Angeles,
Los
for
Angeles.
example. Yes, yes. How an area who was a glorious place in the past accidentally becomes a terrible one. No, yeah, and this is how it ends. No, it's more like I watched this documentary. I was thinking about uh, urbanism. Cities.
Urbanism?
Cities. I was thinking about cities. I was not thinking about ghosts. Well, yes, I like ghosts, but I was thinking more like, oh, this is crime, violence, downtowns, uh, power also. No, I mean, I was thinking about
Power? You think it's
in a way
power?
how the authorities take this take took this issue, this problem. No, I mean, they cover this problem. How the police cover this problem. I mean, um, if what would happen if Lisa wouldn't be a tourist? If I mean, that's my point. No, what happened if we're a normal citizen in this area? Oh, oh, this area is very dangerous.
Yes, it's very dangerous, this area.
I
And I
imagine a lot of
think,
people vanish. What happened if they?
yes.
Yeah, Humberto,
And
how are you?
what do you think about the documentary?
You're
What?
asking me?
Yes, I ask you.
We are
Okay.
in YouTube right now or not?
Yeah, we are in your YouTube, so
Well, I just saw one chapter of these
It's
three,
okay. One
4
chapter is okay.
chapters in a row. I thought, okay, I thought the same thing that Enrique thought. For instance, the urbanist thing of the downtown, how the downtown in many cities around the world are so degraded,
Dangerous.
affected, fucked up. But it was just, I don't know, the commentary lasted 15 minutes, 50 minutes. And the
oh,
comments about, in the first chapter, the comments about the downtown, the poverty, how poverty was
yes.
rising in the downtown was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And whereas after that, the whole documentary was like creating superficial suspense
About the
and
motor.
about the documentary was the last 10 minutes. I am being so
Interested.
no, I was, how can I say this, so polite with the documentary, but the last, I don't know, 5-10 minutes were just, they just went really into the core issue with
Do
the
you think?
disregard
But
of the girl.
talking about aesthetics, I like maybe the story is not that interesting because if well I can do a little of
Research,
of what?
research.
No, I can do a little of well, no. When you say something that when you tell a movie the end of the movie, I forgot the name. Well, actually, the story is not that conspiracy. It's not the point. It's not conspiracy. No, because finally, a spoiler. Yes, I can do a spoiler.
You
You can
can,
do it.
you can, you can, you can, you can, you
I
can.
really can't do it.
In our podcast we always do spoilers.
Yeah,
So
sorry. Well, finally, the story quite. I mean, how the social media is related
how
to
the
the
power of the social media.
yes covers
Yeah.
a very rich woman a tourist woman who vanished in a soul way, but finally the story is more simple than that. No, Yes, yeah, I watched the 4 seasons and finally was not mysterious among at all
Why?
because she suffered from
Schizophrenia?
No.
schizophrenia. She was discovered
No.
finally. She suffered
Yes,
from
the finally
schizophrenia.
discovered the schizophrenia.
Yeah, but
Yes,
it led
Really?
us to what?
she
Sorry,
and she
it brings us to
and she did
illness.
everything by herself. I mean, she went to the floor, to the roof, and she get into the tower. And
Really?
this, yes, she finally she did it.
You
It
do
was the
this with
discover.
yourself? How did you
Yes,
discover
because
that? Because
Wait, she
I think
committed
there is
suicide?
another person with her. For
finally,
me, there is another person with her. It's not only by yourself do this. Put in your
it could
roof,
be, could
take your
be, could be.
clothes, and
But the point is like I took this issue more aesthetic, how the narration goes on is so attractive. It's so attractive. You're looking for, oh my god, what the, what are your impression about the narration? How they put the the camera to the faces. How I was impressed.
yes, I have to watch the two ends.
Oh, we're in
The
YouTube.
left.
We're in YouTube in Laila. Oh,
Yes,
interesting.
we are in YouTube today. It's not in my
Okay.
Facebook.
You are okay, 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 okay. So
Oh, okay.
maybe while I put this on our Facebook, maybe we can listen to Humberto's about his delay first and his impressions.
Yes, Humberto, talk
Well,
more
I,
with
I can't
us.
talk about so much about my delay because it was a situation just that. But my impression about this documentary, this chapter, sorry, I said it before that 15 minutes of a story that they were uh, stretching it so much. I didn't like it at all. I did think that it was
You
cool to
never
talk about.
like our documentary what you talk about. When I choose the documentary or Enrique choose the documentary, you never like it. You never. So
No, that's not true.
this is not new for us. So talking about the documentary, please.
Yeah, I'm talking about the documentary. Okay, why I'm telling I didn't like it because the documentary lasted 50 minutes, and just there were so 3 or 4 parts when the issue was really cool, was really cool to watch.
Yes.
So
Do you think like that? I mean, the aesthetic issue more than the
talking
content.
about aesthetics, but okay, there are so cool views about the city. There are
Yes, I
some
think it's
cool
more important.
I think Los Angeles will be a very interesting city to know,
Yes.
but only in taxi, no, not walking.
Actually, I would like to know how dangerous are the streets because okay, they say uh there are there's danger there. You can suffer something, but they are homeless more
A lot of
than
Yes.
gangs.
homeless.
Yes.
So it's a difference. There are different danger between a gang and homeless. So you have to be aware of that. There is no like other part of Los Angeles when there are I don't know the Mexican gang when they are selling drugs and they are using um, armed pistols. But also the issue of Los Angeles for me is that this is a violent city because of his location. How many races are there between, and it is historically known that Los Angeles is mel melpot melpot is that's a word melpot city when there are a lot of races that they meet each other, but this is not they are in the best
This is
terms.
this is
In the best
it's
way.
interesting what you're saying, because when you imagine Los Angeles, for example, uh, I didn't imagine. I mean, when I watched this documentary, because I like those stories, uh, uh, but I thought it was in Chicago. I mean,
Was
I
it what?
didn't imagine in Chicago
Chicago.
or another city more.
Hmm.
I mean, Los Angeles is not. I mean, for maybe a Latino view, I didn't imagine is this kind of buildings or this kind of cultures uh, in Los Angeles. I mean, I didn't
Because
imagine that
we
because
always show for us the beauty, the beats, the sound, the
yes,
The
yeah.
modernism.
but also I imagine in Los Angeles as Miami. I mean, almost a Latino city. I didn't
Hmm.
imagine that they have. I mean, the architecture of this building is. I imagine, oh, was in Chicago or I mean in Canada. I mean more US, more. I didn't. Yes, as you say, Humberto, no, it's a mix of cultures, and even this girl is almost a mix of culture because it's a Chinese Canadian woman.
Hmm.
Who was it's a wow, it's
Yeah,
interesting, no?
but
A
think about this.
cosmopolitan city, cosmopolitan culture city.
Yeah, but in time, if we put this in a timeline, this building was built, I don't know, the early years of the 19th century. So the characteristic, the features of this of a cosmopolitan city, a lot of racist city, is like from the 50s onwards.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think the same. I mean, what was really interesting, and now we are breaking down things, is that how are the downtowns of modern or well-known cities such as, I don't know, you are talking about Los Angeles, and I am thinking about Minas Gerais, Belo Horizonte, sorry,
Yeah, that's my
Rio de
point. That's my
Janeiro,
point. The
and
story
that.
is not that interesting. I can tell you in one phrase. It's not. It's a vanish, but it's a conspiracy media network. But we can talk other things about downtowns, for example, about cities. Yeah, I
Actually,
Yes,
suppose.
in downtowns, we ever seen homeless, and we always seen a different kind of building. In
Yeah,
Rio de Janeiro, the downtown is beautiful, without people, without people.
yeah,
The downtown is beautiful. The buildings, the architecture is
yeah,
beautiful. But in downtown, we have problem with the homeless and robber. How can I say?
still
robbery.
thieves,
Stealers,
thieves, thieves, thieves,
thieves,
thieves,
thieves.
thieves. Yeah,
But the city in our essence is beautiful.
Yeah, I think we should look for a documentary, um, well into no, and that covers cities itself, such as the documentary I picked up like 2 weeks ago of fights. But yeah, it's interesting what you're saying, that we can talk besides of uh, besides this story that it wasn't successful in its intentions to give us, oh, there's a crime here, this is a mystery here. No, I think it's interesting to talk about the downtowns itself, the urban thing
How
of
is the
this.
downtown in Peru, in Lima?
in Lima, Peru is the most well. I we don't, well according to the historians, I suppose we don't know the history of Brazil, but from this part of Latin America, I mean, the Spanish speaker is the most giant, big, uh, after Mexico City. I mean,
Is what?
is huge. Is
I
huge. Yeah, in at least like two
but it's
kilometers.
dangerous.
The center, the downtown here is dangerous from in the how can I say this at night
Mhm.
from 9 p.m. on. I used to have my walks. I used to walk. I used to have a walk there like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and it was really interesting to know the downtown at night because there were a lot of different things that you can watch in in in, in the after. I don't know how to say this in English. During the day, during the day. So it was really cool, but kind of risky at the same time. And yeah, one of the things that I would like to know is how are the downtowns there in some cities in Brazil, right? Rio, Minas Gerais, Sao Paulo.
Here is beautiful, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm here too.
No matter the time of the day. We don't know what's the best time. Of course, at night in this downtown is more dangerous, but during the day is dangerous too.
Yeah.
Em Juiz de Fora, it's not so dangerous because we have to compare Juiz de Fora here. Juiz de Fora is peaceful, you know.
Yeah.
But we have to have some how can I say preoccupation when you walk
Worries.
worries. Yes, you have some worries when you walk, but not like here. Here you always have to see the street and see what happened around you at the same time, and you can do something in the street like I have to see my cell phone, buy cell phone,
Oh yeah.
you know, and you have
To be
to do.
aware.
Yes, always should be aware. In Juiz de Fora,
But in
no
Juiz de
so
Fora,
much.
no.
And in São Paulo, I think is more. São Paulo, it's not I when I go to the São Paulo, I didn't see a beautiful city like Rio. The downtown, it's not like Rio. Rio is beautiful, the downtown. But São Paulo is not like so
Why
beautiful
you think
because
so?
have so many buildings with graffiti.
Oh, more urban
Graffitis.
art. Urban art.
Yeah, not urban art, it's vandalism.
No.
Is what?
What is the difference between urban art and vandalism?
Urban art, when you some own of that building lets you do your art in the wall,
Okay, got
you
it.
know. And vandalism is when you didn't do that and you do. You didn't do one art. You only go there and write your name.
This is pretty interesting because what you are saying, I think it has a name, right? These huge letters and on the walls,
Yes,
building,
it has a
right?
name because I forgot the name. Is
Yeah.
your
What
Graffitis.
what what I find
Humberto is
what I
a
find very
graffiti
interesting
painter,
yes
right?
your wall.
what I find very interesting is that you are saying that that's a characteristic of Sao Paulo and Rio, and I wouldn't think so, right? But you already said that. So my question would be, so in Sao Paulo there are more this kind of arts than in Rio. You would say that
No,
this
no,
is
no,
a
no.
correct.
I'm not saying art.
Vandalism.
No, no,
Vandalism.
I'm referring to the vandalism you're mentioning.
Yeah, and in São
This
Paulo there are
vigilante.
more in the downtown than in Rio.
And why you think so? This is cool to know.
Why I'm think? What?
Do you think there is a link between the funk culture and
The
artists
rapper.
But Enrique,
There is a
fun,
urban art?
there's
gang.
fun in all across Brazil. So there are funk in Rio and there's funk in Sao
Yes.
Paulo. So
Yes.
there's
But in
that's
São
not
Paulo
a
there are more gangs.
in Sao Paulo.
So do you
Street
think it's
gangs.
more? Do you think like those dangerous,
It's not dangerous.
dangerous games,
I'm talking about the vandalism.
vandalism? Okay.
Not dangerous.
So do you consider that Rio is a cultural city? So
São Paulo and Rio, both São Paulo, Rio, both cities is the cultural. It's a big
our
series
culture.
of culture. I'm telling you how the downtown is. For me, the
Okay.
downtown in Rio is more beautiful to see than São
To
Paulo.
see. Okay, I got it.
Or see
Got it.
than São Paulo. And these I'm talking about. Not I'm talking about there is more dangerous or than Rio, because I don't know. I only go to São Paulo. I only went to São Paulo
Once.
sometimes. I'm not go in São Paulo and stay in São Paulo for a long period.
Period. Right. So I would say that you are more familiarized with Rio than Sao Paulo because you were living and studying in Rio,
Yes.
right? So I don't know. We should be talking about Los Angeles, but this is a really
No,
cool
this is
topic.
No, but this is
this is
talking about
this is
downtown. You talk
Oh,
about
it's
downtown.
no, this is the point. The
This
point
is the
of
point.
this is yes, to talk about more beyond, because we can
okay.
talk
Got it.
about Elisa vanish and finish. No, we're talking,
Yeah.
and it's
Okay.
most
This
interesting,
is
no?
my question. This is my question.
But maybe
Given the
you can share. I put some images of Lima downtown. Maybe you can add.
no,
I
but let me
already
ask you.
share.
Henrique,
Already
let Humberto
No,
talk.
no. He's the host right now, so
enter my
so
images.
do it. Let's see your pictures, your images. Where?
But you were. Oh, yeah, well,
I have to let.
okay, okay.
Mm,
This is Lima downtown. It's a city similar to Hotel Cecil. And this is the
yeah.
modern part of Lima downtown. Obviously, it's not all Lima downtown, but it's part of Lima downtown.
This is one of the entrances of Lima downtown.
Yeah.
In here we
Entries.
have more old buildings.
But Laila, I have a question. You're saying that in Rio there are more old buildings, but I would say, okay, Rio was the capital, was the former capital of Brazil, right? But at the same time, Sao Paulo was an important city
Yes.
during the history of
Oh,
This is the theater. The theater.
of Rio.
Yes, the theater. Yes, the theater.
yeah,
The most
but my
old
point was
theater.
that was my point, right? So okay, you are saying that Rio has a lot of old buildings, but I would say, oh, what about Sao Paulo? Sao Paulo was an important city throughout the story of Brazil, so it makes sense. It would make sense that there are old buildings there also.
Yes, there are old buildings in São Paulo too. I'm talking to you when I go to São
Visual
Paulo,
aspect, yeah, I get it.
I didn't see the beautiful of the city.
Okay,
No? I think
yeah,
in Rio is more. There are more space. In São Paulo, yes, too, is more space, but we have so many avenues, a
Like
lot of
this,
avenues,
like
avenues,
this, like
avenues,
this.
avenues. Yes, it's a big, so you can see. But I never stay in São Paulo like on Sunday. I never go in São Paulo, in downtown in São Paulo one Sunday, like I already go in Rio during the Sundays.
Why you are stressing this fact of the day Sunday? Because Sunday
Because
people.
Sunday there are less people in the downtown.
Okay.
Ah, yes,
When you
because
see
it's a free
less
day.
people in downtown, you can see
Oh,
more
yes.
the city, the more the
Oh, that's
beauty of
interesting,
the
no?
city.
That's interesting, no? Because most of the tourist roads are on Sundays, no?
The
The tourist
tourists,
days. Yeah.
the tourists, but they didn't have the people that live
Yeah.
in Rio because they in your
Ah,
home.
yeah. Oh, that's interesting, no?
And
Because
Sunday they didn't work.
the
If they don't work, don't have a lot of people in downtown. So we can see the beautiful of the street. And I couldn't say about São Paulo because I
oh, Bob Marley,
never
Bob
be
Marley.
in São Paulo on Sundays to see how is the beautiful in this downtown,
Yeah, got it.
Like Bob Marley.
you know? So I can
Oh,
told
yeah.
you this. I only can tell you that in São Paulo there are more vandalism than in Rio. Not dangerous, vandalism. Dangerous, I think, is the same.
Yeah. For example, this image is culture, is
Yes,
urban
it's
art.
beautiful. You can see
This
this.
this this is no vandalism. Yeah.
No, this is not vandalism.
But vandalism, uh,
Pichação.
speech has sound. Speech has sound. I will
Pichação.
I will check out Sao Paulo. Mhm. I don't see nothing Asian. Everything is modern.
Mhm,
Like this.
mhm.
Pisha Sound.
Speech
Oh
has
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
It's like this.
I remember the name.
Ah, it's like this.
Pisha Sound.
Yeah.
Sao Paulo is like this. I mean, it's like more. It's ancient by
Here is
the
like
walls are covered.
uh, this is like Copacabana. Copacabana, there is more building like that in the street and in the street. There are building like that. Copacabana is the old neighborhood.
Ah, should to be a neighbor. A harbor.
The
Sorry, a
old
harbor. Ah, neighbor. Neighbor. See, sorry.
neighborhood.
Neighborhood. Yeah. I thought harbor. No, harbor. No, neighbor. Interesting. I can't see any
In
Asian.
São Paulo, there are more buildings, big buildings, big.
Yeah, big
like
buildings.
like this.
Yes, like no. In Rio, there are more like this.
All buildings,
Old
all
buildings,
big buildings,
buildings in
and in São Paulo
downtown.
there are modern like modern buildings.
Skyline.
Yes,
Sky
Cairo.
building.
Yeah, because that's a financial capital of Brazil, right? There are a lot of business there in Sao Paulo.
Hmm?
Look at this picture. No, I wouldn't if I wouldn't work there.
You
Why?
can.
Yeah, because I mean I wouldn't work there on
You
You
afternoon.
wouldn't work?
can
You wouldn't work? What?
Walk. I
walk,
wouldn't walk
walk
in that
downtown in São Paulo.
Why?
after
Because it's
the
empty of
afternoon.
people?
No,
Same.
it's not empty.
Enrique is saying that he
I
wouldn't
wouldn't work
work.
on night
Yeah,
on afternoons. On
What?
morning, yeah. Wouldn't. I mean, it seems this place in Sao Paulo seems to be, I don't know, dangerous. Empty.
Come on, Enrique. We have been walking through the old downtown here in Peru, and I wouldn't say that it wouldn't. There wouldn't be a huge difference between the downtown in Lima and Sao Paulo in terms of violence. If you walk like with
But
confidence,
Laila is right, no? I think that the Asian buildings in Sao Paulo are like less colorful, no? Do you remember the picture of the theater of Rio? Was like
Yes, the
the color
municipal
was
theater.
come
more
on, come on.
care.
You're missing the point that
I already go to
Sao
the
Paulo
roof
is a big city.
in the
Rio
theater
are big cities, and
municipal in Rio.
we are just watching two photos of two big cities. So
In two different
I
times.
already go until the roof of the theater, the municipal theater in Rio.
Are
I,
you
ha-
have
I
you
already take the picture.
have you worked there? No? Did you work there? Do you play
No, I
there?
already go there until the
How?
roof of the theater. I go until that because I was in my visit in the theater. So they show us all the construction of the theater for us.
yeah, Laila, I'm remembering right now that there was a lot of migration from the Northeast to Sao Paulo. You think this
Creation.
Oh, this
migration
year
from
in
the
my
Northeast
Lima.
say something about the capital?
São Paulo,
Yeah,
there are many Northerners.
Nordestinians,
Yes, in
Nordestinians,
São Paulo. Yes, there are many
like
because
you, right? You are from the Northeast.
I'm the North, but I don't live in
Yeah,
São Paulo.
you are living there. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm in my family is already all my family is from Minas. I'm only the Northeast in my family.
The Maranhense.
Yes, I'm only one.
So I'm saying this because it really surprises me that Sao Paulo is more. There are more vandalism in street in art terms than in Rio de Janeiro. When people
Street
usually
art.
say, "Oh, there's a lot of robbery there in Rio de Janeiro," and it's kind of interesting the fact you're saying that.
What?
Interesting. Sorry, interesting.
Interesting.
Why?
Why? Because if there is robbery, if there are thieves in Rio de Janeiro, I would
Rio
think
and São Paulo, the both places there are.
but
Well,
why Sao Paulo this have more this street art called pichação?
Yes. I don't
what
know
is
I'm
why São Paulo
pish,
there are more. I think it's the
pish,
gang. There are more gang street in São Paulo than in Rio. Here we have more a drug dealer, a traffic. How can I say traficante?
drug traffic,
Drug traffic, and we have more
drug
thief.
dealers.
Yeah, yes. And in São Paulo, we have these two, but I think in the street we have more gangs in the street. We have drug dealers, we have thieves, we have all the things in in both cities. But in São Paulo, I think is more. I have more gangs than in Rio. Gangs,
Got it.
not quadrilha. I think nos dois lugares tem.
What places have um, this
Só que eu acho
gangs?
que tem mais, em São Paulo tem mais
Got it.
gangues de rua. De rua.
You already said it in English. It's cool.
Ok.
street gangs.
É o que eu acho, é o que eu vejo, é o que eu já estudei.
Enrique, is she speaking what language? I'm not getting her.
You
In
get it.
Portuguese.
Okay.
But I mean, on those pictures or graffitis are referring like the name of that gangs. I mean, it's like, oh, this is the gang of Bertos, and this is the
Um,
is
Tag. I remember the name. Your
Tag,
tag.
tags,
Tag.
tagging their
Your
names.
tag.
Right.
Tag
Yeah.
your names. The name is Tag.
there.
Tag.
Lalia, I have a question. Quick question. I've set my Tinder location in Porto Alegre. Okay. And also I was like having a tour throughout across the south of Brazil.
Mm,
Basically Curitiba, Florianopolis, Blumenau.
mm, mm.
And what I found interesting is that it gives me a glimpse of how are their cities. I think they are more calm,
Yes.
relaxed than these
Yes.
cities.
Yes.
How what can you tell us about that? I mean, my impression were like their
There are more
neighbors.
safe cities,
Yeah,
less dangerous. Curitiba, Florianópolis. Uh, what another city that you said?
Portal of
Blumenau,
Alegre.
Blumenau.
Blumenau. This city is less dangerous. There are thieves, yes. There are robberies, yes. But it's less if we compare on Rio and São Paulo, and some place of Northeast too. And in south of Brazil is more peaceful because the colonization is European and the culture is a little different, but there are robbers, there are thieves, there are drug dealers, but not like the big cities like São Paulo and Rio, the focus
What I
Mm.
realized
on
was that
Brazil.
there are
This is
so
this is the
many
hostel where we
white.
are going to be now, Umberto. You
Huh?
were watching that. This is the hostel where Umberto we are.
No, just me. Enrique already dropped his dreams of going to Brazil,
No, yes.
unfortunately.
Umberto was looking for some prices, but
Airbnbs,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
You told us.
yeah, I told us, but Enrique, he's dismissing this idea. Oh no, I think I'm cool here in Lima.
to get vaccinated, and then maybe with what is it? Butantan vaccine.
But
Butantan,
I
Butantan.
do think that Airbnb deserves a documentary right there in Brazil. I don't know. I found it pretty interesting the fact of this company of this Airbnb company there in Brazil. It would be very interesting because it puts you in different places all
Yeah,
over the city,
I
and you
already participate of the Airbnb. Yes,
Oh, have you been a host of
hosted.
people?
Yes, I already been a host,
Oh,
but I stopped because it's more
dangerous.
no dangerous,
complicated, too
trabalhoso.
much. Yeah, I get it.
Because they get out a lot. They spend
Yeah,
a
and
lot of
I go
energy.
there. I have to clean all the things. I have to wash all the things, and I stopped to do that. But it's
But
good. It's good.
but what are
The
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 pros?
the, the money is good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Just the money of, for instance, when you have like you're a good host, they write comments that you're saying, oh, she's a good host, and that.
Yeah.
What does it mean in terms of money?
I was a
More
good
more
host.
likes. You want to be my host once I go there?
You have to pay for your
Another
estadia.
an, another thing that I found was Clacla app, something like that. I don't know if you
What?
know that
I think
Clacla.
Sao Paulo seems to be Chicago, no? In height.
Yeah, it's more like Chicago. Yes, highlights. There are more highlights than Rio.
Yes, I don't see nothing historical until now.
No, we have. You see.
But what about Santos? Santos, I would say that this is an historical town. Or
you go to the Santos because of the beach. You have to go to the another beach in Brazil. Santos beach is not a beautiful beach. No, there are others more beautiful.
Yeah, I got it. I know, but just the name, it reminds me of my childhood. Just that.
Art Deco. This technique is Art Deco.
Art Deco, yes.
So
it's more geometrical building.
But it's not like
it is more geometrical building. It's old, but geometrical is more like Art Deco.
But Art Deco is not like too long, no? It's like 200 years.
No. Don't during a long time.
Yeah, 100 years.
Or another movement of.
So Rio is more long, more historical.
Yes, it's more. For me, it's more historical than São Paulo. São Paulo have many buildings, historical buildings, but in Rio, for me, there are more. The neighborhoods. Oh, so Copacabana is the old neighborhoods. Only building, most of part of the building is historical.
But taking into account that Rio de Janeiro was the city of the emperor, right?
Yes.
So it will make a lot of effort to build buildings, right, to express the powerfulness of Brazil. So it makes totally sense that Rio would have not just buildings, but precious buildings.
Yes.
Peter the First, right? Peter the First.
Peter the First. What's the mean that?
The emperor. The emperor of Brazil.
The name of the emperor of Brazil is Pedro I. Don't change the name. You never change the name.
Okay, sorry.
Pietro. No, you never change the name.
Okay.
Pedro.
Yeah.
Pedro.
So that's a really cool thing, because when I was reading the empire part of Brazil, I was thinking, come on, there was an emperor there in Brazil, in Rio. How could it be the situation? And we are not talking about like 16th century, 17th century. We are talking about a almost siglo 18 now. 19th century. 1890 something, 1870 something. So almost modern era of right?
That's interesting, no? Pedro I used to have a palace.
Yeah, they have. Oh, come on, he's an emperor. They do have palace.
Some palace. Here in Juiz de Fora, we have the Museu Mariano Procópio, and they have a mansion. I don't know how to say, a big house there.
Mansion.
The house is a mansion. Yeah. The house is the Dom Pedro I.
Yeah, the right name is Dom Pedro, right?
Dom Pedro I. Dom Pedro Casa de Campo.
Segundo?
Casa de Campo. O Museu Mariano Procópio, aqui em Juiz de Fora, tem um museu que era a casa de Dom Pedro, de Casa de Campo. Acho que é isso.
Wow. This is a Airbnb. Also a little shiny, a little town. It's almost a city. It's almost a city.
it would be interesting to know these kind of buildings, but all across Brazil, right? For instance, the old buildings of the old colonial buildings of, I don't know, Pernambuco, Bahia, Minas Gerais, Ouro Preto. It would be pretty
Ouro
interesting
Preto
to
is
know how.
more. Ouro
Yeah,
Preto is only an old city. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. It's a beautiful. But you have
yeah.
to
So
walk
if Enrique is
a
getting
lot.
surprised about this, he's gonna
I
freak
like walk. I like
those.
walk. I really like walk.
Only subida. How can I
Yeah,
say subida?
he really likes walk, but he don't wants to. He don't really want to go to Brazil. So
Ah,
that's the difference,
By
right? Between
by bus. By bus. There is a
so
bus to Rio. 5 days. Yes, there are.
okay.
but yeah,
Okay. We talk about the downtown, and why we talk about the downtown, because our documentary talk about the Los Angeles downtown. So
yeah,
we change our subject for this topic of downtown because we want to talk about the downtown of Brazil, downtown of Peru. So I think it's interesting to be talk about change our it's not talk about only the documentary, but catch a part of the documentary. It talk about this, compare our city. This is good.
yeah. But I
Yes.
think the topic itself of our cities, it's a huge topic, and it deserves a, even a documentary, right? So, for instance, there is a documentary here in Lima called uh, Metal and Melancholy, Metal y Melancolía. I don't know if you already have watched that, but this is an interesting topic who delves into the last years, not the last years, but story of the last years of the downtown throughout the last, yeah, throughout the final years of the 19th century, 20th
Mm.
century, sorry.
Peru is made of metal and melancholy.
Oh,
But they are referring to Lima, right? This is located in Lima, but it's an interesting documentary.
Inca Cola. It's a soda.
It's just about the 90s, right? Not the 80s, the 70s. No, it's the 90s.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
a bomb explodes. Well, the 90s in Peru was dangerous.
So there was a documentary likely to,
Maybe, but it's for free.
Yeah,
yeah, on YouTube.
I think we have in the YouTube complete película of complete película.
Okay, maybe we can watch this for the next because it's Humberto's, no?
The next is
It's my turn. No, no. Have you seen
Sepultura.
that? Have you
No,
watched?
no.
No,
Don't
never.
watch it. It's boring. It's boring. Totally
Okay,
boring.
It's boring, Humberto.
Yeah, it's my bad, but
Oh.
I'm preventing you from watching it. So I've changed my subject, and it will be more funny. But we're gonna talk about it, but in the
In our private.
in private, right?
Okay.
okay.
So my question was: is there a documentary? I forget the name. Likely? No. Parecido. Sim. No.
Likely,
For
Sims.
likely, yes, likely.
likely. Is there a documentary likely to this documentary? For instance, I'm not talking about Cidade de Deus. No, I'm talking about a documentary. For instance, I was watching O Baiano Fantasma. Você
Uh,
tem visto?
no.
I don't know. I just was watching. It was cool because, for instance, we have. Oh, it was interesting to talk about this because in here in Peru there was a lot of social movies such as Juliana.
It's Juliana.
Such
What
as
it means? Juliana.
Juliana is the name of a movie of a young little girl who was a street vendor.
Street
Is that
seller.
correct?
Street
Street
seller.
seller. She was selling candies. She was working on the street, right, with a gang also. And it tells you the story of how the migration of the highlands from the highlands to Lima, and it tells you story, the history of Peru also. So my question would be, okay, I know the Brazilian industry of movies is is huge, but what would be your,
It's
I don't
growing.
know your,
It's growing. It's growing a lot.
but what would be your top five of Brazilian movies?
Documentaries, no, instead of movies.
Documentaries, movies, I don't know.
Yeah, we can watch the movies. I don't have problem with that.
No, but my question is you
Preference.
If I have top 5 movies,
for
Brazilian
your
movies,
top five movies.
just Brazilian movies. Bacurau,
Yeah, that was what lasted, right?
Bacurau, Tropa de Elite, Cidade de Deus.
Tropa de Elite. Why Tropa de Elite?
Hã?
Why Tropa de Elite?
O que é Tropa de Elite? Tropa de Elite.
Why you choose that?
Because I like the first movie.
First,
I like.
yeah.
I like a lot. I like. There are others not so much, but the first I like.
Okay. The other ones.
Bacurau, Tropa de Elite. Another 2, 1. I don't remember. I have to remember. I have to see for remember the names. But Bacurau is the far the best. Is for me
By far,
nowadays
yeah.
far from the best.
Unfortunately, I couldn't see the whole movie when I had the opportunity, but I do like it. I did like this movie of uh, this. Remember, it was located in Pernambuco.
Auto da
Auto.
Compadecida. Yes, Auto da Compadecida também. Yes.
Yeah, it was
It's a
so
great
cool. It's
movie. A
really,
great.
really, it was something new for me. Really something new for me.
It's a
It was really
great
cool.
movie. Great.
It
Auto da
tells a lot.
Compadecida.
It tells for me. It tells about a lot about how the Brazilian approach towards movies. Yeah, I did like it. I know. I think it comes from the theater, right? It was
Yes.
a theater play.
Adaptation from the theater.
Yes. Yes. It's adaptation from the theater.
Yeah.
Não sei, só sei que foi assim, ó.
Well, I think it's the end.
Yeah, I think we can finish our podcast
discussion.
today. Huh?
We have a great discussion.
Yeah, I think we have a good question. No, a good, but was a good discussion.
More than discussion, was a conversation, right?
Yes, we have a conversation about our cities. Yes, you don't have a lot of discussion about that argument.
After that, Umberto is going to be a host in Airbnb.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
because you
turning
live
my house into a Airbnb place. Actually,
because you live near to the airport.
Not just that. My parents are aging, so there's a big house here. So in order to make money, we could turn this place into a place for.
You know cooking, so you know cooking.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can finish our
Podcast.
podcast, and next week we come back with another movie or another documentary. Okay, thank you
Okay.
for watching us. Bye bye, guys.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye. And the end. See you.